going to do this video, but I'm not even sure that I'm going to upload it after I do it, but I'm going to shoot it and I'm going to see how I feel afterwards. So, I'm out here doing Instacart. This was actually my first day doing it. Well, as you can see, it's night now. And I know from doing Instacart, the last time I did Instacart was 2019. And I know, it's every now and then you'll get a batch that you realize after accepting the batch that it wasn't worth it. But today's batch, it was completely not worth it. So I got the order. I wasn't on line very long, maybe about not even 5 minutes. A batch came through not far from where I was parked. I was at the Giants around the corner from my house, but I picked up an order at Target. And like I said, it's been 2019 since the last time I did Instacart, so the app has changed a little bit, and I didn't realize that I was shopping a 2-customer order. The order itself, it wasn't too bad because one of the customers only got 3 items. The other one got significantly more items, but it wasn't too bad. And then the first delivery, the one that got the most items, that delivery was pretty much right around the corner from the Target, so that wasn't bad. But then when it came time to deliver the second order is when I realized that this batch was totally not worth the money. Number one, because it was a 2-person batch, and then number 2, because of where the second drop-off was. Totally wasn't worth the money. But I had already accepted it. There was nothing to do at that point. But then, so on my way to drop off the order, I'm like, oh, no, let me rewind. So when I went to drop off the first order, and I'm dropping off the first order, I'm like, oh, this is a very nice house. And it took me back to 2019. It's hot. It took me back to 2019 when I was doing Instacart, and I would be, delivering to houses, and I'd be like, these are some nice houses. And I remember saying to myself a couple times, I'm going to own a house like this one day. And then let's fast forward. So I think I started doing Instacart in 2018, maybe, because my father passed in 2019 of May, and I think I had done Instacart longer than 5 months, because right after he passed, that's when I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't get back into the swing. And it might have, maybe I only did do it for 5 months. I don't know. But I remember saying I'm going to own a house like this one day. So then 2020, here I am, bought the house, Pennsylvania, relocated. And then when I first moved there, they didn't have Instacart. So they got Instacart maybe about 2023, 2022-ish. Yeah, 2022. And Instacart shoppers would deliver to the house, and they'd be like, oh, you have such a nice house, and I love your house. So it's like, it was full circle. Like, I remember doing Instacart and, admiring the houses and say that I would like to own a house like that one day. And then I owned a house like that, and people were, delivering to me doing Instacart, and they were admiring my house, right? So now, here I am, and I'm doing Instacart again, and I'm like, this is such a nice house. And when I went to go deliver so after I dropped off the order and that thought came to me, I'm like, am I going backwards in life? And not that it's anything wrong with doing Instacart, but I had reached a goal here I am right now, jobless. May or may not get the unemployment. Doing Instacart. No longer own my home. I rent, I have a nice home, but it's not mine, and it doesn't feel like mine, not that I'm not grateful to have a nice place for me and my sons to live, and now my sister, that's an update that I need to come and share with you guys, but my sister, long lost sister, who we hadn't seen since she was 14, we hadn't seen since she was 4, and now she's 18, so it's 14 years. She now lives with me, and I'm grateful that I have the space to accommodate her. It's a nice home, but I can't shake the feeling that it's not mine. I'm not even motivated to really decorate it. And some people own, and then they go back to renting, and they feel like that was the best thing. They feel like ownership was not for them, and they go back to renting, and they feel like that's the best thing for them, and they will never never own again. It doesn't feel that way for me. I definitely want to own another home. I'm trusting God that I will own another home. If you were to look at my circumstances right now, jobless, no unemployment coming in, had a disastrous night at Instacart. The business is still going fairly well, but I told you guys I worked at the flea market the last time, transporting the pieces. A couple of the pieces got broken in the transport. It helped me to see like the larger pieces from when I do events now. I'm not going to take the larger pieces with me because it just a few of them got damaged, so I just decided to keep those pieces for myself. But it feels like so back to my original point, if you were to look at where I'm at right now in life, it looks like, well, I don't know when I'm gonna own a home, but I'm trusting God. I did have a moment tonight. I did have a moment, and I started crying a little bit on my way to the second delivery. Like, I am literally going backwards in life. But I had to gather myself, and I choose to look at it like, I don't know how I choose to look at it. I want to say something profound. I want to say, I choose to look at it instead of going backwards. It's this grand, renewal or grand, new beginning. And maybe it is. But tonight, that wasn't how I felt. Tonight, I felt like I was literally going backwards in life. But I'm still trusting God. I even with things, because I know that life is like a pendulum swing. Sometimes it swings this way, and sometimes it swings that way, and sometimes it swings in your favor, and sometimes it swings seemingly not in your favor. But then sometimes, even when things are when it's seemingly swinging not in your favor, later on down the line, you can often see how it actually was in your favor, even though it didn't look that way. So I'm choosing to believe that will be the situation for me. But I definitely had a moment, and I choose to still trust God. I just really believe that He is going to bless me with another home. For many different reasons. For quite a few different reasons, I believe that He is. But yeah, I definitely had a moment. And I do believe that I will get the unemployment. It does look like finally, because I wasn't even able to log into my case for the longest, and it just would not go right online. I was finally able to log in, and I finally spoke with a gentleman this past Friday, because I had been, calling everybody trying to figure out what was going on. What was the holdup? Did they have a determination? And I was receiving all of this misinformation. And I mean, it sounded like it was the right information until I talked to this gentleman Friday, and he just broke everything down, and he explained that often reps tell people XYZ, and that's incorrect. And I was like, oh, that's exactly what I was told. And he put me on hold, and he emailed the agent that was assigned to my case. And so there's some movement. Like I see some changed language in there. So something is going on. So it looks like it looks like they are determining that I'm eligible. And now I guess, we just have to wait for them to release the payment. So I do feel like things are going in the right direction for that. I just have to wait a little longer. And like I told you in some previous texts, I don't even know. My mind is all over the place. As I mentioned to you guys in a previous video, I don't even know if I'm going the right way. Let me just tell y'all this, because it's dark. I should not have been out here that long, but I still have to tell you what happened when I can see where I am. I'm going the right way. I still have to tell you what happened when I attempted to deliver this order, but I'll get there. But so there looks like there's movement with the case. It looks like I will be getting the unemployment. I look so sweaty, but I think it's the light. And I'm trusting that God will bless me with another house. My finances don't dictate that. My credit score has taken a hit. That does not dictate that. But I mean, I've rebuilt my credit before, and it's not like, it's not where it was, but it's not where it's not fixable. Nothing dictates it, right? Like if you look at any of my, my employment situation, my financial situation, my credit situation, you're like, you gonna buy what? What you gonna buy? What you gonna be blessed with? But that's the thing about blessings. They don't always make sense, or they don't always come in a form that looks like something that you should be getting. So I'm trusting God on that. But what I was saying, I remember what I was saying now. As I had stated to you guys in a previous video, I have some other things going on. So I stayed up all late last night thinking that I was completing thinking I was completing part 1 of one of these things that I have going on, right? Only to find out that, and I was racing the clock because this part 1 had to be finished by September 1st, but I could pay to extend it. So I'm like, I'm not paying to extend it. I'm just going to finish this part 1. I know I can finish this part 1. So what I've been doing is, like, every night, you know, when the baby is sleeping, I'll work on it. And then in the morning, I typically wake up. I wake up early, so I work on it on a minute. I mean, early in the morning, I work on it for a while, you know, before I get up and start my morning routine, because I have been getting better at doing my self-care routine in the morning. So I'll work on that for a little while. Then I'll get up and I'll do my, my morning routine. And then, I know that the baby will be waking up soon. So I'll, get up and start preparing, for that. And then he wakes up and we do our morning, routine. And then I don't work on it anymore unless maybe if he takes a nap. But then normally when he takes a nap, I have other stuff to do. So I work on it. So I've been just working on it nighttime when he's sleeping, in the morning before he wakes up. So I'm like, I got this. This is going to be done before the September deadline. Which it was, technically. However, I can't complete part 1 until I complete part 2. And what's the date? It's no way, because I have my event that I need to prepare for. I still have to make pieces. I still have, it's no way I'm going to be able to complete part 2 before this September. Part 2 does not have to be completed until the second week of October, right? Part 2 does not have to be completed until the second week of October before I would have to pay to extend it. However, I can't complete part 1. It's 99. It's literally 99%, because the app that I'm doing it in, it tracks the progress. So it's 99% complete. I need to get over. It's 99% complete, right? But I cannot complete it until after I complete part 2, which was not explained at all in the app. So now I need to, I discovered that like 1 something in the morning, this morning, maybe late, 1 something this morning. So I can't call customer service until Monday. Because there's some other parts in there that's not clear too. So I need to just not only call them about that, I need to call them about some other things, because once you get to the end and it's showing you things, there's so much that's unclear. And had I known, and then get this, the way it was is like you couldn't, the way it's set up and the way they have it, the language used makes it seem as if you couldn't start part 2 until you completed part 1. And once I tell you guys what this is, you will see how it would make sense that you wouldn't be able to start part 2 until after you've completed part 1. But after getting to the end of part 1 yesterday, I realized that I could have done part 1 and part 2 at the same time. So had I known that, I would have already started part 2. It probably would have confused the heck out of me, because it doesn't even make sense that you should be able to start part 2 until you complete part 1. But I would have started it and been working on them together if I knew that this was going to be the issue, right? So now I'm left with, it's looking like I'm going to have to extend, pay with no money coming in, right? Pay with no income, pay with no job, to extend part 1 in order to give myself enough time to complete part 2 that is not going to have me rushing. I feel like this is something, not feel like, it's something that I shouldn't rush. You know, I don't want to rush this. And I don't want to neglect other things to make sure that I can get it done, just trying to get it done by September 1st. So I'm just going to have to pay to extend it. That was kind of overwhelming to find out, especially with getting that far, 99% complete, and realizing that it's so much that is unclear. Yeah, and it just feels like the goal that I had in mind, timeline wise, it seemed like that's going to be pushed back because of the way this is set up. And I can't say for sure, because I'm going to talk to customer service, and hopefully they can clear up the parts that are not clear, and hopefully it doesn't really push back my timeline the way it seems like it will. But that's a whole other story, and I know that this is not really making sense to you because I haven't said what the things are right now. But so I don't know. So I started saying all of this to say that I know that life is like a pendulum swing, but I don't know which way mine is swinging right now. I don't know which direction it's swinging me in, or where I'm going to end up once it's done swinging. But all I can do is trust God. So if you're watching this and you're a Kia supporter, or if you're watching this and you're a neighborhood, insurance lady supporter, send positive vibes my way. If you're a praying person, send some prayers up, because I don't know. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know at this point. But if you are in the Baltimore area, or somewhere close, and you want to come out and join me on September 1st, I'm still having my event September 1st, and we're gonna have fun. And come on out. Look, fun, at least I can have some fun. I mean, so come on out. If you want to help me have some fun in this mess of a life that I have going on right, and not really a mess. No, I'm not going to say a mess. I'm not even going to speak a mess over my life. Not really a mess, but just what I'm going to say is uncertainty of life, because nothing is certain. I don't know. I mean, like, nothing is certain right now. Nothing. I don't know. I know nothing. That's what I know. Nothing. So, but I know at least I can have some fun. So, if you want to come out and have some fun with me on September 1st, contact me and we can just, about the event. But let me tell you what happened with this order. So the order, let's just say the address said 248 XYZ Street, right? So I get there, and I'm fairly familiar with the area because, remember, I moved 40 minutes away from where I used to live, and this delivery took me basically back to my old area. So I'm fairly familiar, and I'm there, and I'm like, where are these people? Like, this address, where are they? So in the area, it was like a Best Western. It was a a Best Western. It was 2 hotels and a motel, and but none of the addresses. The address to the hotel, it was the Quality Inn, the Best Western, and some, like, not a name brand motel chain, right? Like, so I'm messaging the people in the app, and I'm like, "Are you at the Best Western?" And then I'm like, "Well, they can't be at the Best Western because this address is not right." But I messaged them anyway because I'm like, that, and the address and the instructions was consistent with either an apartment building, that there was no apartment building there because it's all commercial things right there, like all businesses. So I'm like, it can't be an apartment building unless it's like a little tucked away apartment building, or like unless it's an apartment building on top of a business. But that wasn't the case either. So it's like not making sense. So I'm like, where are these people? So I messaged them in the app. Are you in the Best? Are you in the Best Western? No response. So I tried calling them. No answer. So I called customer service. And customer service reached out to them. Customer service comes back. Customer service said, okay, they said just leave it at the door. No, in the app it said leave it at the door. They told customer service, okay, just tell her to leave it at the desk. So I had explained in detail everything to the customer service rep, and I said, okay, but what desk? Did they say what building they in? Did they say the name? And I explained to her that it was a hotel around. There was, the Quality Inn. There was the Best Western. But none of the addresses to any of those places matched the address that was in the app. Nor did I see the address that was in the app. Now, it wasn't a very well-lit area. My eyesight at night is not the best, which is why I didn't start shopping at night. I probably should have started a little earlier, but yeah, I didn't intend to be out this late, but that's just how it ended up happening. And I thought I was going to be staying in this general area where I live, which has, it does have more lighting. But like I said, it took me to my old area for that second drop off. So I asked customer service, I said, well, did they say the name of the building? Did they say where they are? So she comes back and she said, oh, let me try to contact them again and see if I can find out the name of the building that they're in. I would have thought that when I explained to her that it's this building, that building, and none of the addresses matched, and when she reached out to them, she would have asked them, because I'm asking her, I'm saying I don't know what building they're in. I thought she would have asked them, but she didn't. So then she put me on hold to go ask them, and she came back and she says to me, well, can you try reaching out to the customer again? Can you go in the app and can you try sending them another message? So I said, okay. So I went into the app and I sent them, well, they never responded to the message when I asked were they at the Best Western. They never answered when I tried calling them through the app. So this time I sent them another message and I said, are you at the Quality Inn? They didn't respond. She's still on the phone at this point. They didn't respond. So we wait a little while. I'm still driving around trying to, figure it out. I've been all up inside the parking lot of the Best Western. I've been all inside the parking lot of the Quality Inn. I was all inside the parking lot of this motel. And they said the note was that it's next to the breakfast, breakfast house. Didn't say. I'm looking for a restaurant that says breakfast house. I'm looking for a restaurant that says anything breakfast. Nothing. Okay. So she contacts them. She finally gets them back. So after they didn't respond to me, she goes back in and she calls them again, and she was able to reach them. And she comes back and she says, well, they said, can you just, they're in the building across from the ale house. It's an ale house in our area. They're across the street from there. So across the street from there is because the place is like a kind of long. So across from there is either the motel or the Quality Inn. So it could have been either of those places. So I said, okay, I'm just going to attempt the Quality Inn. I'm going to go here to the Quality Inn. I'm going to check with them. I parked in a no parking where I shouldn't. Well, it says park here at your own risk. I pulled in there. I got them. So they had a box fan. And they didn't have many things, but one of them was a box fan. So I'm like, I'm hoping I'm at the right place, because here I am carrying this box fan. I have their other, items or whatever. I have my phone in one hand because I still have the customer service lady on, on the line. So I go in there to the office, which the address was totally not the address that was in the app. So when I go in and I ask the lady, I said, is this, I told her, I'm here to deliver with Instacart. I have one address in the app, but the customers are saying that it's right across from the ale house. And she was like, well, are you sure? This was the Quality Inn. She said, well, it sounds like they gave you the address to the Best Western. So she pulls it up and she was like, no, Best Western is 3 something. So I said, yeah, I thought it was initially them too. And she was like, well, this isn't our address. So I said, well, it's room, and I gave her the room number, and I told her the name of the customers. And she was like, I don't think so. This doesn't look right. So then she was like, it looks like they gave you the address to Rabbit Transit. She pulled it up, and that's what that address that was in the app. She pulled it up as being Rabbit Transit. So when Instacart, you have like you're supposed to deliver it by a certain time. I'm way over my time now, like way over my time, between trying to reach them, between trying to reach customer service. I couldn't reach customer service initially because all these apps want you to talk to the chat. They want you to do the chat customer service option, right? So I had to say no to all of that, so I could finally get the live customer service agent the first place. So that took time. So when I told her the name again, she was like, okay, yeah, she was like, you can try taking it to the door and seeing if that's them. I said, well, they said leave it at the desk. So after I said that, she was like, what are their names again? So I gave her the name. She was like, okay, yeah, that's them. They just gave you the wrong address. So it would have been so simple if they would have, it would have been so simple with a few things. If they would have initially responded to my message that I sent them and said, no, it's not the Best Western, it's the Quality Inn. It would have been so simple again if they would have just answered the phone when I called, and they could have told me where they were. But it could have also been so simple if they would have replied to when they spoke with the customer service agent, that she would have asked, or they would have said, I'm in the Quality Inn. And then it would have been simple again if instead of saying it's across the street from the ale house, where there's a motel and the Quality Inn that are both across from the ale house, if they would have just simply said, we're in the Quality Inn. But maybe they didn't know where they were. Maybe they didn't know which one they were in. Fine. So I delivered it. As I delivered it, another batch came through. At this point, I'm done. I'm like, I'm just going to go offline because I'm done for the night. So that's how my first day doing Instacart since 2019 has gone. It was totally not worth the money that the batch paid. But it's just day one. I'll see what next weekend brings. I started some fish stew before I left the house. And I did not think I was going to be out this long. So I made my own broth using the fish head. And it was interesting because as I was cutting the head off the fish, I saw something that looked a little too dark to be the meat. And I'm like, why is the fish bad? Did it go bad? But it almost looked like that's another fish, you know, as I'm cleaning it. And then exactly that's what it was. A baby fish fell out of the large fish as I was cleaning it. So I kind of like got a 2-for-1 deal with that. So I used the fish head and some other ingredients to make like the broth as the base of my soup. And I cut up all my vegetables and everything that I'm going to put in the soup. I cut up the fish, cleaned it, I cut it up. And I'm going to, you know, I said I was going to add the vegetables and then, you know, at the very end add the fish, because it doesn't take fish long, you know, to cook, and I didn't want to overcook it. So I was making this fish stew, and I thought I was going to be back in the house by now. I'm so glad. I told my sister when to turn it off, because I boiled it for quite a while, and I'm using a big pot, and I wanted to boil down to like halfway just to get, you know, all of the juices from the head and all the herbs and the vegetables that I put in there to make a nice broth. So I can, you know, strain that and then, you know, let that be the base for my soup and add and everything. I'm so glad my sister was there. Well, if she wasn't there, I wouldn't have left it cooking. Because, you know, my son was at work, so there was nobody to turn it off. So I wouldn't have left it cooking, but, yeah. So that's that. That's how my day has gone. I did complete a puzzle today. I completed a puzzle yesterday. I started another one today. I'm starting a new, kind of like a new line, like a new product. So, I should be able to get the one that I'm working on. So, I'll show you guys, of course, when I do the new product. But, it's like a 3-part thing. So, I'm gonna go in here. I need to. It's so much. It's never not a time that it's something that I need to be doing. But so now I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna finish the fish soup, and now I have to determine: am I going to clean my room, or am I going to work on a puzzle? I don't know. But this is how my Saturday has gone. I have been doing a lot of insurance lately. I've been doing quite a bit of insurance lately. Not saying that all of the policies have been approved. That's another story. But I've been doing a lot more insurance than I've been doing lately. Some of these insurance companies have changed things, and not for the better. But one of the companies has changed some things for the better. But that's not one of the. I have not written a policy with that company in quite a while. But yeah. So I'm just rambling at this point. So I need to go ahead and end this because did it start? No, it didn't start over. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end this. But like I said, if you want to come out and have some fun with me, join me September 1st. Contact me for the information for the event. And if I run across your mind, send a prayer up, send positive vibes, send some. But I'm in this, and as always, it's the neighborhood insurance lady. And I'm wishing you love, laughter, life insurance, unemployment if you need it, smooth Instacart deliveries if you do Instacart, and anything else that you may need. Okay, so until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.